Thank you for tuning in and welcome back to Home Selling Tips. In today's episode, you'll learn about selling a house, what you should know about comps. My name is Andrew Finney. Please consider me your real estate geek. I'm always here to help. If you need help finding a top agent where you live, or if you simply want to drop me a line to say hi, my contact info is below. Love to hear from you. If you haven't already done so, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel now and like this video. Thank you. So real estate comps are actually a short way that real estate agents normally refer to the comparable sales of the properties that have recently sold in and around your community that come up with the fair market value of your home. It's also what real estate appraisers are going to be looking at when it comes into appraising the valuation of your home. And comps are looking at similar size, features, and benefits of your home that you're trying to buy or sell, along with the home that of the homes that have already sold in and around your community. And it is important to note that buyers will also use comparables in trying to figure out what price to offer you whenever you get ready to put your home on the market. So if your home is significantly overpriced, you're likely not going to be getting very many showings at all, and you may not get an offer. If and whenever you do get an offer, it's going to be less than your list price if it's too far out of line with the comparables. So it's important to keep that in mind as we move forward. Now, just as anything else that you've ever heard in real estate, location is the top priority. So whenever we're looking at real estate comps, what we want to do is we want to take a look at all the homes in your neighborhood. Let's start off at your neighborhood level first, and then let's look for any kind of model matches that we have to your home. So let's say your home is like 2,500 square feet and it's a single story. We want to be looking ideally for other single story homes that are 2,500 square feet. And we then want to also be considering what other features your home may have, like you have an upgraded kitchen. Did the other one have an upgraded kitchen? You had bathroom remodels done. You have a great backyard. You have a pool. So we want to be looking like in kind, number one, with the model match. Number two, we want to start assessing the valuation and coming up with an idea of what your home should be able to sell for in the market based upon the features and benefits of your property that it may have or may not have in relation to the other homes that have sold, and adjust accordingly from there to come up with a fair market value estimate for your home. At the end of the day, a comparative market analysis, or comps in short, are nothing more than an estimate to help give you guidance in what pricing strategy is going to work best and how to get your home sold. So it is important to note that if a home has a pool, like in some states that may not be a big deal, but here in Las Vegas, Nevada, if a home has a pool, they generally are going to sell for a little bit higher, a little bit more money than a home without a pool. And it's a hot state, obviously. We live in the desert, so pools have a value. Now, if you're on the East Coast or if you're in the certain areas of the Midwest, maybe pools aren't that big of a deal. Maybe they're considered more of a liability than anything. So it just depends on where you live and knowing whether it's going to help your property value or hurt your property value. Other things that we want to consider when we're looking at location is considering proximity to parks, proximity to shopping, what's the walkability of your neighborhood and community, and we also want to be looking at, are you sitting on a street? Specifically like a big street, because homes that normally sit on big streets are going to sell for less money than other homes that are more inside of that community. And think about it for a moment. You'd be like, well, why the heck is that? Well, if you're not living on a street right now or backing up to a main street right now, then you may not completely understand, or maybe you do understand why it's a big deal because you didn't buy that house yourself. Well, buyers coming in, it's going to take a specific type of buyer that's going to say, yes, I'm willing to spend $350,000, $400,000, or whatever the price of the home may be on that home, even though I'm going to get constant road noise behind me. It's a road noise factor. It's an enjoyability of living in the home, and it does absolutely affect the value of your home, as does sometimes being close to like a parking lot or backing up to a commercial center as well. So it's important to keep that in mind. So the next thing that we want to do is, obviously, we want to look and see what's actively on the market so we know what our competition is. So by doing that, we know where other people are pricing their home. It's not that they're going to get that price. They may or may not get it. But at the end of the day, we know where our competition sits and how our home pricing strategy should be looking going forward. The next thing that we want to look at is what's currently pending. And just for reference, a pending, whenever we talk about pending or contingent properties, that means that a buyer and a seller have already come to agreement and agreed to work together for the purchase of that property and the sale of that property, and they're in the closing process. So that's what that means. And a pending or contingent is really good information to kind of give us an idea of market trends for your community and your area. So with coming up with those market trends and areas, if you have these homes that are listed, let's say that the realistic fair market value of your home is $350,000, okay? And let's say that we see homes on the market in your community anywhere from $355,000 to $400,000 for like in kind similar properties, and that means size and amenities and everything. Let's just say they're all the same. So we have this fluctuation, all this fluctuation of price by like 15% difference, right? So the next thing that we want to look at is what's pending. Now that home that was on the market that's exactly like yours, but they're on the market at $400,000, they may have been on the market now for 4 or 5 months, while you have some homes that are pending that maybe would have went into escrow after only a week or after maybe a month. And let's say those homes are like priced between $355,000 and $365,000. That's good news, because if your comps are closed, the comps that we're looking at for the most recent 90 days, and keep that in mind when we're looking at comps, we always want to look at the most recent ones in the most nearby area. If there aren't any in your community, then we're going to just start expanding that circle a little bit at a time until we can come up with like and kind. And another thing to consider is to make sure that if you're a gated community, you're comping against gated communities, guard gated communities against guard gated communities. We want to make sure that everything that we can dial in that number to better understand the most accurate and truest valuation of your home. So going back into our example here that we're talking about. So if we got the most recent 90 days, and let's say the highest sold was actually $352,000. Well, obviously the home that's on the market at $355,000 is doing everything right. They're right there within 1% of the most recent closing in the last 90 days. Their home is in escrow and it's going to sell, right? The next home, let's say, it was in an escrow at $365,000. Well, why was it in escrow at $365,000 when the other one's in escrow at $352,000 or $355,000, right? So then we want to look at the pictures. We want to, a savvy agent will actually call the other agent, see what's going on after looking at the pictures, and come up with a better idea and understanding what did that property have, what did it not have, and then have an honest conversation with you about how best to price your property in relation to the competition, in relation to fair market valuations. Now, factoring in the home features with the pool and stuff like that, or if you have the upgraded kitchens, the upgraded bathrooms, all that stuff helps. But keeping something in mind. When you do home renovations, the number one reason that you should always do a home renovation is because you enjoyed it and that's what you wanted to do for your enjoyment. The second reason, or the second thing that you should keep in mind when doing home renovation is what's going to add a real value to the home at the end of the day. I've done other videos about home renovations and you can check them out and share your thoughts about that as well. Anyways, fourth point, going and tying everything in together with your what you should know about comps is please don't overanalyze. Your savvy listing agent is going to know the market. Your savvy listing agent is going to know the trends, and they're going to share that information with you. They're going to do a full-on comparative market analysis. Normally, whenever I get done with doing my due diligence, comparative market analysis, for instance, it's about 100 pages long, and it just is. I do a lot of due diligence, checking on all the factors, all the research, all the nit and gritty, and I really itemize things out so that the sellers that I represent can best understand what the market's doing, and we can have an honest conversation about how best to get their home sold. The last thing that you want to do as a seller is to put your home on the market and it not sell, and you really had your eye on another home, or you had a job relocation, or you were moving out of state, and now the only thing keeping you from moving forward with your life is selling your home. That's not cool. So be honest with yourself, be honest with a great real estate agent, and again, if you need help finding a top agent in your market, I'm happy to help. I'm going to put my contact information up right now. Please let me know which one of these tips today was most helpful to you and which one you're going to take away and use right now in the comment section below. Thank you. So if you haven't already done so, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel now, like this video, and share it around. Thank you so much for watching. In between now and next time, I'm wishing you and yours a lifetime full of love, wealth, abundance, and happiness. See you soon.